Hey everybody, it's Kristen with Christians to Yoga. In this video, I want to offer you a simple, slow flow for those days when maybe you're just feeling a little bit tired and a little bit overwhelmed. So really on those days, you're looking for rest for your soul and restoration for your body. So when you're ready, go ahead and just join me on your mat in a simple seated position and we will get started. So finding your comfortable seated position, we're going to be here for a few minutes as we just kind of let our minds and our hearts and our bodies connect together with the breath and with the word. So if you need to place a block or maybe roll your mat up or place a blanket underneath your hips to stay comfortable, feel free to do that. So when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes or gently just bring your gaze to be soft, noticing your breath. Good, we're going to take just a couple of deep breaths to just enter into this practice, inviting the Lord to just move in our hearts and on our mats today. Take a big inhale, nice, deep, relaxing inhale. And as you exhale, just feel the cleansing work that's happening as you release just whatever it is that you feel you need to release this day. Good, and again, inhale nice and slow. Big, deep breath. Feel the air just start to expand your ribs and your belly. And one more breath. Inhale. Good. So with your eyes closed, I just want you to listen to my words today as I read to you from Matthew 11, verses 28. It says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I'll put my yoke upon your shoulders, and it might appear heavy at first, but it's perfectly fitted to your curves. So learn from me, for I am gentle and humble at heart, and when you're yoked to me, your weary souls will find rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I love this so much because there's so many times that we start to feel just the weight of the world, the weight of our ministry, the weight of our whatever hats you're wearing. They all have just this weight that is put up on us, and sometimes that causes us just to feel the separation from the Lord. And I love this reminder. He just says, just connect with me, come back to me, focus on me, and when you do, you're gonna find rest for your souls. And so I want you just to chew on that and just to absorb that today as we move into our practice, the movement and breathing part of our practice. Just know that there's rest for you to have and to receive this day. So when you're ready, go ahead and take those hands all the way overhead, just taking a nice big breath. Feel your hips just root into your mat as your fingertips plug into the sky. Your eyes can stay closed here. We're just gonna take some movements and link our breath to it. So inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, let your fingertips come back to your mat. Inhale, reach for the sky. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way overhead. Big breath in. Let the left hand come over to that right knee, and then let the right hand come either just next to your right hip, or maybe it comes behind you for a little deeper twist here. So what I want you to think about in this simple seated twist is as you inhale, allow your spine to grow taller. And as you exhale, find a little more rotation through the belly area. So take the neck out of it by bringing your focus back to the front of your mat if you need to, because the twist is really happening in the center of your body. So inhale, get tall. Exhale. Moving into that twist just a little deeper. Good, take one more breath here. Good, and then come back to center. Let's take that right hand up and over to our left side. So that left hand is still planted on that right knee. Your right hand is reaching for the sky, and then you're just gonna start to bend towards the left side of your mat. One more breath. Good, and then we're gonna bring that right hand over to the left knee. So your arms are now crossed and your legs are still crossed. And so you're gonna take your chin into your chest and around the upper back. I like to kind of lean back here a little bit just to really open the shoulders and the upper back here. Maybe even that low back, you'll start to feel a little relief. Good, and come back to center. So from here, that right arm is on top of the left. We're just gonna reach those hands up into like it's called eagle arms. So the backs of your hands are next to each other. And that right elbow is stacked on top of the left. So stay here if this is plenty. You're starting to feel this opening in your shoulders and your upper back. But if you can take a full bind here, feel free to wrap that right hand around and maybe take palm to palm, getting those elbows in line with the shoulders. Good, nice tall spine here, breathing. Good, so stay here if this is plenty of work for you, or maybe you can exhale and just start to fold forward a little bit here. Rounding that back. One more breath. Good, and then coming back to center, we're gonna unravel those arms and then just sweep them all the way overhead. Maybe notice the difference of tension and freedom in your shoulders after going through that little sequence. So with those hands overhead, go ahead and reach high as you inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna twist to the left this time. So the right hand comes to the left knee. The left hand either comes directly next to your left hip or towards the back of your mat. So again, imagine your spine growing taller as you inhale, making sure those shoulders are still over the hips. Sometimes we like to lean back here. Bring the shoulders back over, even if it's at the expense of your twist. Good, and as you exhale, you're finding more rotation. 2 more breaths here, really feeling this twist. Twists are so incredibly cleansing for our organs and detoxifying and purifying our digestive system. Good, so come back towards the center. We're gonna take that left hand up and over, finding that little side bend with just a slight twist here. So I'm still holding on to that knee with my right hand. Good, take 1 more breath here. And then let the left hand come over to the right. So now your hands are crossed on the opposite side. Left elbow is on top of that right elbow. When you're ready, go ahead and let the backs of those hands come together. Again, getting those shoulders and elbows in line with one another. This might be plenty. This is a lot of work and stretch on that upper back. So stay here. Or maybe you want to take a full bind by wrapping that left arm all the way around so that you can be palm to palm. Again, checking your shoulders, like you don't want to be with the elbows down into your ribs because it's not really the function of this posture. So feel free to stay here if that's what you need to do to get your elbows in line with your shoulders. Good, so take 1 more breath here, and as you exhale, if it's available to you, if it's not causing any tension or any pain, start to round and bring those elbows in towards your shins, maybe in towards your belly, and tuck your chin and breathe. Good, and then coming back to center. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Go ahead and unravel those arms. Sweep the hands all the way overhead. Bring the palms together and exhale the hands to heart center. Finding 3 breaths right here. Feeling rooted into your mat. Maybe scanning those places that you just feel maybe a little bit out of control and that you need rest for your body and rest for your soul. And just entering into this conversation with the Lord of what it is to look like, what it looks like to walk with Him, to learn from Him, and to practice His unforced rhythms of grace. Good, so on your next exhale, go ahead and open your eyes and start to reach those fingertips forward as you let your chest start to melt towards your mat. So listen, you can stay right here. This might be plenty for you. You can also, if you have a block, you can use your block to rest your head on just so that you can relax into this posture. Or if it's available, feel free to just surrender fully to your mat. Just finding 3 breaths wherever you are. Maybe checking the connection point to those hips in your mat back here, so making sure they're still rooted into your mat, they're not lifting. Good, slow and controlled. Start to walk those fingertips back in towards your legs, and actually we're just gonna keep walking them towards the back of our mat. So your wrist, you should feel a good stretch in your wrist right now, but if this is painful, feel free to flip your grip. So you're flipping those fingertips towards the back of your mat. If you wanna keep them facing your hips, you're gonna feel a bigger stretch in the forearms and wrists. But I want you to think about maybe even bringing those thumbs a little closer together and then letting the chest kind of puff out here and the belly relax so that you can find a little bit of a back bend. And you're gonna really start to feel those shoulders open up. The chest muscles are gonna start to relax a little bit. Your biceps are opening up. Again, make this work for you. So bring those hands where they need to be so that you're feeling the depth of this stretch. Taking one more big breath here. Open the chest, maybe lift the chin here. Good, and as you exhale, just sweep those fingers all the way back to that forward fold, to the front of your mat. Good, one more breath. On the inhale, just start to bring those fingertips back towards your legs and then behind you. 2 breaths here. Good, and then slowly as you exhale, sweep those fingers back towards the front of your mat. Go ahead and rock onto your knees, touch your toes together on the back side of your mat, and then let those hips sink into child's pose. Good, so just finding a few breaths here in child's pose. Maybe just meditating on what it means to truly rest, not just in your body, but your mind and your heart. So from here, go ahead and walk those fingertips over to the right side of your mat. You're gonna feel a big opening, a big stretch on that left side body. Draw that left hip back and down. Your forehead can rest on your mat, or if you want to rest on your block, or just leave it slightly lifted. Make this work for you. Always honoring exactly where you are in this moment and responding to your body's needs. Good. Receiving one more breath right here. And then as you exhale, walking back to center. Good. On your next inhale, just let those right fingertips start to walk over to the left side of your mat. And the right hip is going to draw back and down. And then just feel the breath start to invade the space on that right side of your body, just in between those ribs. Good, one more breath here, and on the exhale, just returning back to center. So we're gonna plant our palms into our mat, and then just start to lift your chest. Let your knees stack underneath your hips, and your shoulders are in line with your wrists. And draw the belly button in. So we're a nice little tabletop here. Take a peek at your hands. And make sure those fingertips are spread wide. I like to make an L with my pointer and my thumb finger, and then let everything kind of splay out from there. But really pressing into the knuckle part of your hand here to protect your wrist. Good, so we're gonna take just a little bit of a core, just a heat building, turning on our core here, sequence. So when you're ready, go ahead and lift the left foot and reach it back towards your mat, keeping those left toes pointed towards your mat. And then start to feel like sometimes what happens is that hip will want to kind of open up here. See if you can keep both hips facing your mat. It's going to challenge your balance a little bit here. Keeping your gaze nice and soft and forward. Take one more breath right here. Good, let those knees come back, both knees on your mat. Good, so this time we're gonna lift the right toes, lift the right foot so that foot is flexed. So you're using the heel to like press the wall behind you. I want you to think about drawing the belly button in towards the spine and then bringing those ribs together to stabilize you here in your core. Finding one more breath here. Good. Bring that right knee back to your mat. So this time, we're gonna lift the left foot, and then we're gonna also lift the right hand if that's available to you. So the left foot lifts and the right hand reaches. So now we're creating a little more heat and a little more wobble to work through, which is actually creating lots of focus and clarity in your brain right now. Who doesn't want more of that? Gonna take one more breath here. Beautiful. Let the right hand come back to your mat. This time extend the left hand and then the right foot. So the heel is pressing the wall behind you. You're really keeping an active right arm here to hold you nice and firm. So pressing through, kind of like you're cupping the mat, like you're lifting the palm of your hand and just pressing through those knuckles. One more breath. Good, coming back to center, all 4 limbs on your mat. Maybe shake it out a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna add on. So go ahead and lift the right hand, left toes. Taking a big breath here. This time as we exhale, if it's available, you can stay right here. If it's available, reach back for that left ankle. So I call this baby dancer pose. So keeping the heel pressed towards the ceiling. You can even lift the knee a little bit here. Good, and then come back to center, reaching the right fingertips forward, the left toes back, and back to your mat. Good, starting to feel the heat a little bit here. So go ahead and press into the right hand, lift the left fingertips forward, right foot is extended, inhale. Exhale, reach back for that right ankle with the left hand. And so really draw that foot up towards the sky and open up that left shoulder. One more breath. Good, on the exhale, reach those hands, the left hand towards me, the right foot is extended towards the back of your mat. And then bringing all 4 limbs back to your mat. So let's take a child's pose for 2 breaths, and we're gonna add on 1 more to that little sequence. Beautiful. Coming into your tabletop position. So here we go. Inhale, the right hand reaches as you take a big breath in. Exhale, reach back for that ankle for a full breath cycle. Good, and on your next inhale, we're gonna extend the hand and foot. And then this time on the exhale, take the right elbow over to that left knee. So you're gonna connect them in the center of your body. Good, inhale, reach. Right hand forward, left toes back. Exhale, back to tabletop. Yes, let's do that again on the other side. Inhale, left hand reaches forward, right foot reaches back. And on that exhale, you're gonna grab that ankle for a full breath cycle. Good, on the inhale, reach the hand, extend the foot. And on the exhale, you're gonna curve the spine and reach the left elbow to the knee. And on your next inhale, extend the hand and foot. And then exhale, return. That's our sequence. Let's do it one more time on each side. Big breath in as you extend the hand and foot. Exhale, reach for the ankle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect the elbow to the knee. Inhale, extend. And exhale, back to center. Beautiful. Other side, left hand reaches. Inhale. Exhale, grabbing that ankle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, center. Beautiful job. Go ahead and find your child's pose for 3 full breaths, sinking those hips down and back. Your knees can be together or apart. And just receive these words. As you're resting, you're starting to feel maybe a little bit of increase in your heart rate, and your body's starting to really start to engage now. Just listen to these words. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Put my yoke upon your shoulders. It might appear heavy at first, but it's perfectly fitted to your curves. Learn from me, for I'm gentle, I'm humble of heart, and when you are yoked to me, your weary soul will find rest. Because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So just inhaling that truth, breathing in that promise that whatever it is that you have been given, it might feel heavy, and even if it's a ministry or your children or whatever, these even just good things that can still feel so heavy, just turn your attention to Him, learn from Him. Receive this rest that is yours. Good, friends, when you're ready, go ahead and just making your way through tabletop, we're just gonna find our way into downward facing dog. So letting the hips reach for the sky, maybe your knees stay soft for this first downward facing dog. Your chest and your ribs are gonna reach for the thigh, fingertips spread wide. And breathe, ears are between the biceps. Good, maybe you start to walk those knees out and pedal them. So the left knee will reach forward, the right knee will start to straighten, and then the opposite on the next breath. So make this work for you. You can even take a couple little twists here, just really starting to open up the back and awaken the legs a little bit here. Good, find one more breath here. And then look towards those hands and step your feet to meet them. Exhale, fold. Good, tuck your chin into your chest. And we're gonna just let everything hang. Let your head hang, your hands, and just roll up one vertebrae at a time. Letting your gaze be the last thing to come. All the way up, reach the hands overhead. Bringing your hands to your heart. Mountain pose. So maybe you just close your eyes and you just take notice of what sensations you're feeling in your body. Maybe what's stirring in your heart, what things you know that are causing weight that are ill-fitted because you may have picked them up yourself, that you can lay down and make space for this true soul rest that you so long for. And one more full breath here. And on the next inhale, we're gonna reach those hands all the way overhead. Good, so go ahead and grab the left wrist with the right hand. As you inhale, get really tall. And as you exhale, just start to fold or bend over to the right. Good, and then take a big breath in, come back to center, just switch wrists and go over to the other side. Beautiful, coming to center. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. Good, come back to center. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, this time, go ahead and bring those hands down to behind your back and down by your hips. If it's possible, go ahead and clasp the hands together. And then inhale, just receive a nice big breath here, filling this open chest, open heart. Chin can be high. Good, on your next exhale, feel free to unclasp the hands if you need to, but if you can, keep them together. Go ahead and fold forward, rounding over those thighs. Letting go. Maybe you shake your head yes and no, just to release that tension. One more breath. Beautiful, slow and controlled. Just release those hands and bring them down to your mat or to your shin. And on your next in-breath, go ahead and lift halfway with the flat back standing table. Exhale, fold and round. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Plant those hands. Step back into your plank pose. Receive a big breath here, and as you exhale, go ahead and lower down, knees up or down. This is up to you, but I want you to keep those elbows into your ribs as you slowly bring your chest to your mat. So pressing away from your mat, go ahead and peel your chest and belly button, if it's available to you, off your mat for cobra. Maybe look up slightly. Good, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and find your way to downward facing dog. Good, let's go through that sequence again. Bring those feet up to meet your hands, forward fold, rounding the back. Good, tuck the chin into your chest, and maybe a little faster this time, just roll up like a rag doll. Inhale, bringing those hands overhead. Exhale, taking that side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale those hands down and behind your back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold. Hands together if possible. Good, letting the hands release. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands and step back into your plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. So bring those thighs off your mat. Feel free to. Good. Exhale, down dog. So at this point, if you feel like you need a little more of a warm-up, go ahead and repeat that sequence at least 2, maybe 3 more times, just to warm up your body in full. But if you feel like you're ready, go ahead and just move on with me, and we'll build a fun little sequence, and then we'll find some rest at the end of our practice. So from here, go ahead and let that right leg float into the sky for 3-legged dog. Bring it in to meet your hands. Good, so keep the back heel lifted here. So you're kind of in a runner's lunge. That back heel is stacked over the forefoot of that left foot here. The right knee is just over the right ankle, so we don't want it too far forward here. It's really hard on the hip flexors. So when you're ready, go ahead and press into the right arch and the right heel as you come into a crescent lunge. Listen, you can always take your crescent lunge with a knee lowered here. No shame. To make this work for you, you're gonna wobble probably a little bit here. This is balance and strength. Keeping that back leg really charged up by flexing that left quad. Take one more breath here. Good, so let the left hand come to the inside of that right foot. So if you have a block and you need to use your block here, it's a great place for it. Good, now we're gonna let the right hand reach for the sky. So we're in a revolved crescent lunge here. Take one more breath. Beautiful, let the right hand then come to your mat or block on the inside of that right foot. We're gonna plant the back foot and open up into our side angle. So that back foot is now parallel with the back of your mat. Taking one more breath here. Good, so from here you guys, go ahead and press into that right arch and heel and really lifting yourself into this beautiful warrior two. So right heel is lined up with either your left arch or your left heel. Palms rotated up to really bring the shoulders together and down. Your back, maybe you look over that front hand. Good, find one more breath here. And then let the left hand come to that left thigh. Reach the right hand for the sky. Reverse warrior. Keeping a bend in that right knee. It's gonna wanna let up here because it's under some tension. Good, one more breath. And then making your way back through warrior two. And then we're just gonna cartwheel those hands to frame that right foot and go ahead and pivot the back foot back into your low runner's lunge here. Plant both hands and step that foot back into plank. So hear me. From here, you can go straight to down dog, or you can take a vinyasa to get to down dog. So you can take your push up, your back bend, your down dog. Everybody meeting in down dog. Beautiful, let's do the other side. Left leg floats into the sky. And then bring it in to meet your hand, keeping that back foot lifted. option to drop to the knee here. It's totally optional. Good. Inhale, reaching for the sky, crescent lunge. Bringing those palms to face each other. Soften the gaze, soften the muscles in the face and the shoulders. Good, so that right hand's gonna come to the inside of that left foot this time. So we're gonna lift the left hand towards the sky for our revolved crescent lunge. Maybe even consider taking a smile here. Good, the left hand's gonna come down to your mat or to your block, and we're gonna pivot that back foot and plant it and open up into our side angle. So let the right hand reach for the sky. Maybe you wanna bring those right fingertips towards the front of your mat for an extended side angle here. It's totally up to you. One more breath. Good, so on your next inhale, go ahead and find your way into warrior two by pressing up into that left foot to lift you, keeping the belly nice and tight. The ribs are engaged. Looking over those left fingertips this time. Good, let the left hand reach for the sky. The right hand reaches for the thigh or shin for reverse warrior. Beautiful, coming back through warrior two. And then go ahead and cartwheel those hands down and around the left foot. Beautiful job. The left foot reaches back. So you can decide if you want to take a vinyasa or just move straight to downward facing dog. We're gonna go through it one more time. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit, and then we're gonna come down to our mats for some stretching. So go ahead and inhale that right leg into the sky. Exhale, drop it through. Inhale, rise. Exhale the left hand to the inside of that right foot. The right hand reaches. Good, bringing that right hand down as you inhale, planting the back foot, open up, side angle. Maybe you extend your side angle. Good, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Good, coming back through warrior two. And then we're gonna cartwheel those hands around that right foot. Vinyasa or not. Good, left leg, inhale. Reach that left leg into the sky. Exhale, drop it through. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, the right hand reaches for your mat. Left hand extends towards the sky for revolved crescent lunge. Good, finding your exhale, taking you to your left hand to your mat. Your inhale opens up to side angle. That right hand reaches for the sky. Maybe you extend it towards the top of your mat. Good, your next inhale brings you to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Coming back through warrior two. Good, exhale. Go ahead and cartwheel those hands down to frame the left foot. Vinyasa or not. Good, so go ahead and find child's pose. So listen, you can stay right here in child's pose for a few more breaths, or if you wanna pause your video and run through that sequence a few more times, you have full freedom to do that. So go ahead and lift yourself into just a seated position. Let your hips come down to your mat. Good, so we're gonna keep that left leg extended towards the front of the mat. That right foot is gonna come over to the outside edge of that left thigh. So have a nice tall spine here. So your shoulders are stacked on top of your hips. So we're not leaning back, we're not rounding our back. Get as straight as you can. Good, so this might be plenty for you. You might be feeling the opening happening on the outside of that right thigh. Stay here if that's enough for you. Maybe you hug that right knee in with your left elbow and you just start to twist over to the right, just deepening this twist Another option to go a little deeper is to take the left elbow to the outside of that right knee and really rotate through that belly area. Finding one more breath wherever you're at. Good. Slow and controlled. Come back to center. We're going to take the right elbow on the inside of that right knee and twisting over to the left this time, opening up that left shoulder. Good. And then come back to center. Bringing those toes, both feet forward. Toes are pointing towards the sky, so you have a gentle flex here in your legs. We're going to take a forward fold. So get nice and tall in your spine. And maybe you start to inch your way into your fold. Another great option here is to place a block in between your knees. And you can also slightly bend the knees here. So make this work for you. Our hamstring flexibility is all so different from each other and from day to day. So wherever you're at, just find your version of your forward fold. Maybe you can mount your head onto your onto your block. You can find whatever side works for you. Good. Find one more breath here. And then slowly walk back up to seated. So we're going to do the other side this time. So the left foot is going to come over to the outside of that right thigh this time. So again, maybe you even kind of move that flesh away from those sitting bones so that you can really anchor into your mat here. So stay here. If this is enough for you and you're feeling the stretch, it should feel really good on the outside of that left hip, that left leg. Stay here. But if you want to take this a little deeper, go ahead and hug that left knee in with your right elbow this time, and then start to twist to your left. So again, stacking those shoulders on top of your hips, and then really drawing that left shoulder back and down. Maybe you go a little deeper by placing that right elbow on the outside of that left knee. Good, one more breath. And then coming back to center, we're just gonna hook the left elbow on the inside of that left knee this time, and finding a little counter twist here, just for 2 breaths. Good, and then coming back to center. Release that left foot to come towards the front of your mat, and then find your forward fold one last time. So your version. Good. And then slowly start to walk your way back up to seated, finding your way all the way down to your mat, allowing your back and your shoulders to just start to melt into your mat. So allow those feet to just splay open into just a fully relaxed, and just feel your legs just release all tension, release anything that you're still holding onto in your body and your legs. Flipping those palms up, maybe just next to your body, or I like to bring mine out to a T and just feel completely open and surrendered here. And just finding maybe 3 soothing breaths here. And just beginning or continuing this conversation with the Lord of what it is He may have for you today. After moving and breathing and just taking time to really find clarity and just focus in your mind, but also just opening your heart to what it is that He may be showing you, He may be speaking to you, and also just using this as an opportunity to release, to let go of anything that's no longer serving you, that is ill-fitting or heavy for you, and trusting Him with those pieces. So I'm going to pray for you, and I just want to invite you to stay here for another couple of minutes if it's available to you today, and just soak in the stillness and this beautiful rest. So God, we come to you today completely just ready for a new and fresh breath of rest from you. God, we just surrender anything that no longer serves us, that no longer serves you, and we just offer that up to you, and we hold that out before you, and we say, it's yours, take it. So would you just continue this conversation with us about what it looks like to walk with you and to learn from you, and just open our eyes, open our hearts to hear you and to see you, and to receive you. And it's in your beautiful name we pray, Jesus. Amen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit the subscribe button.
So you've rolled up your mat and you've taken care of your body, but are you taking care of your mind and your heart? In a season where I found myself completely overwhelmed and anxious with day-to-day life, I recognized that something was missing. And that something was daily routine and self-care and love. So over the next few months, I began to build new habits, a new routine, and some consistency that really brought life back into my heart, into my mind, and into my body. And I want to share that with you. Head on over to dailysoulcare.com and grab your free copy today.